what has been increasing is individuals that either find an animal on the road and want to do a good thing, get it off the road, get it out of danger, bring it to their local shelter for help, are being turned away at some of the larger organizations in the state of Florida. And people out of desperation are actually calling us at the very end of the state
Yeah.
wanting to drive. We've had people call from Jacksonville and
Wow.
Gainesville because they've found an animal and went to the organization and they were turned away and they didn't know what to do with it. And so they're asking to bring the animal down here. Just a couple weekends ago, we had an individual that had two cats that she needed to surrender because she was evicted. She went to a local organization in South Florida and was turned away because they were full. And so she was calling us asking if we would take these two cats. Um, and that is becoming more of a concern for me from an animal welfare standpoint because it feels like the animal welfare community has sort of lost its way in why we started in the first place,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like we started to help homeless animals, to help strays, to reunite them with their families, to keep them safe, to provide resources for owners so that if they were going through something, they had somewhere to take their pet without judgment so that that pet would be safe and could find another chance at finding a home, right? Like,
Mm.
and I feel like rather than us looking at every animal individually as we're presented with those animals at our door, we're now looking at them as numbers. And
Mm.
that is not okay. We don't operate our organization that way. We calculate, live release rate because we just want to see where we are, but that's not something that we use to guide how we're operating our organization. And it fluctuates because we are open in mission. There's some months where we're 87, there's some months where we're 96.
Right.
Um, and I feel like there's just so much focus on this percentage
Hmm.
that the animals are the ones that are suffering. And
Yeah.
I find that really disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, having the conversation that we had, it was a breath of fresh air to hear somebody with that attitude because it's rare now, which wasn't the case. Like you say, I think most people who started out in this business, that was what they wanted to do. They wanted to help all the animals that needed help. And then somehow it has changed and mostly not necessarily their fault. They're being judged by a standard that doesn't make any sense when you look at it from animal welfare, from the care of these animals. It doesn't make sense. And it's very frustrating. I think you're not alone in being an open intake shelter that is getting calls and getting animals brought to them from all kinds of places because so many other shelters are closing their doors as soon as they are full to protect that number, to continue to, I don't want to use the words. We always hesitate to use the words no kill, but once upon a time, no kill was a really good thing. And it somehow got taken over by these powers that be, I guess, that changed the definition and changed what it means and changed the scale. So it's frustrating, but it's also refreshing. But you're put in a really tough spot.